Next, lists are in order. A list can hold many items and keeps those items in the order until we do something to change the order. A list can be sorted, that is, change its order. The sort method, unlike in strings, means sort yourself. So there is one example: friends equal to Joseph, Glenn, Sally. So these three are the elements. So if we give friends dot sort, so it will sort according to the alphabetical order: Glenn, Joseph, and Sally. Print friends of one, it will print the first element of the list called as friends. So next is how to delete elements from the list. So there are three operations we can do with the list: pop, del, and remove. So using pop, how we can remove the element from the list: t equal to a comma b comma c. If we give t dot pop of 1, accepts index value and returns deleted element. Delete t of 1 accepts index value and does not return element. So the difference between delete and pop is pop will return the index value, whereas delete will not return the element. Next is remove. T dot remove of b accepts element to be deleted and return is none. So here this is what the difference between all three: pop, delete, remove. All three will remove the element, but pop will return the deleted element, delete will not return the deleted element, and remove returns none. So this is what the difference. Fourth one, more than one element, slashing can be used. Delete t of 1 to 5. So it will delete the elements starting from 1 to last but 1, that is 1 to 4. Built-in functions and lists. There are a number of functions built into Python that takes lists as parameters. So there is one example: nums equal to 341, 12, 9, 74, 15. Print length of nums will give you the total number of elements in the list called as nums. Print max of nums will give you the maximum element which is there in the list called as nums, so which is 74 here. Min of nums, minimum element from the list, which is 3. Print sum of nums, it will add all the elements from the list called as nums and it will display the result, which is 154. So these are all different methods available in list: len, max, min, sum. And finally we can also evaluate certain expression here: print sum of nums divided by len of nums, so it will give you the average. Like then we can also calculate mean, standard deviation, so any of the expressions. Now there is one more example here. So according to that maximum, minimum, sum from the list. So here have a look at this program here. So initially we will take the two variables, total and count is equal to 0. Those are the initial values. So now we will put something in the while loop called as while true. So this condition will be executed until it is true. So we need to put some termination statements inside the loop, then only it will come out from the loop. So inside this while loop, so there is one statement: input equal to input of enter number. So it will take it will read the element from the keyboard. If input equal to done, then we have to break, then this break will come out from the loop if this condition is satisfied. Input equal to done, value equal to float of input. So whatever the entered value, that will be converted into float. Initially it was in string, and that string value will be converted into float. Next we will calculate every time the total, and value will be added to the total. Total equal to total plus value, count equal to count plus 1. So this loop will be repeated until we are going to enter the numbers. If we enter other than numbers, so this loop will terminate and it will give you the result. Count equal to count plus 1. Every time we will enter the total number of elements that we are entering in the list. So once we come out from the loop, we will calculate average equal to total by count. Then we will print average as average. Then after that we will create a new list. This is another program. The same program can be written using list. Num list equal to, you will create a empty list first, then while true, inp equal to input of enter number. If input equal to done, break as usual, value equal to float of input, num list dot append of value. So whatever the value is there, that will be added to the list every time. So that particular value will be added. Now once those values will be added in the list, directly from the list what we can calculate is average. Average equal to sum by num list, sum of num list divided by length of num list, which will give you average. But in the previous on the top left corner, this particular code, this is normal operations. We have taken initial values, we have calculated total, then we have calculated count, then we have divided total by count, then it will give average. But here directly from list we can take one method called as sum and one method called as length, which will give you average. This is what the advantage of list. Best friends. So nothing but here in this strings and list. So how strings and list combinedly we will use. So there is one example, abc equal to with 3 words, stuff equal to abc dot split. That split will separate all 3 words, that is with 3 and words. Print stuff will give you it will create one list called as stuff, which takes 3 elements with 3 and words. Print length of stuff will give you the total number of elements. Print stuff of 0 will give you the first element from the list. This is how we can separate the words from the entire sentence. That is what we said as strings and lists are the best friends. Print of stuff. So we'll print that with 3 words. For w in stuff, print w. So here it will trace the total number of elements from the list stuff one by one, and each element will be assigned to w, and every time it will print the separated word. This is how we can trace the sentences, and we can separate the words from string with the help of list. Split breaks a string into parts and produces a list of strings. We think of these as words. We can access a particular word or loop through all the words. One more example here. So you can see that line equal to a lot, then there will be many spaces, then of spaces, a lot of spaces. This is how we have given a string here. So next what we have to do is we have to use split here. Etc equal to line dot split, print etc. It will print only the words here. So this split function will work, it will not consider the space available in the sentence. So it will separate according to the spaces. So here it contains 4 elements, a lot of spaces. Line equal to first, second, third. So this is one more string here, and we have given a semicolon in between all the words. So now here also we can separate thing equal to line dot split, print of thing. So here it will not separate here. You can see that first semicolon, second semicolon, third, means it will treat that entire. By default the separator will be considered as space, but here this particular line, first, second, third, so there is no spaces here. That split will treat that entire string as only one word. Print length of thing is 1. Thing equal to line dot split of, you have, if you mention the delimiter semicolon here, now it will split your string according to that particular delimiter. Print thing, so then it will separate all 3 elements here, first, second and third. Print of length of thing, which displays the answer as 3. When you do not specify a delimiter, multiple spaces are treated like one delimiter. You can specify what delimiter character to use in the splitting. So based on the previous code explanation, so there is one example that is left to students. write a program to extract the day of a week from a line which begin with from in a file named as mbox.txt. Already mbox.txt is there in that particular, so already I have given that mbox.txt. So you have to make use of that mbox.txt. From that you have to find out all the lines which begins with from. So there is a code here for the same program. So you can see this in that mbox.txt. There is one such line which is there in the mbox.txt from stephen.markard@uct.ac.za Saturday. So here this is one line. So we have to identify such line because it begins with from. So how to identify that? Now you can see this f and equal to open. We have to open that mbox.txt with the help of function called as open. For line in f and it will consider each line from that particular f and. So that f and will be considered with the many lines considered from mbox.txt. If not, line dot starts with from. If it doesn't starts with from, then simply we have to bypass that line with the help of statement called as continue. Then otherwise words equal to line dot. So otherwise if it begins with from, then we have to split words equal to line dot split print words of 2. So now here in this case we will take that line equal to from Stephen, the same thing. So line is assigned here, words equal to line dot split print of words, then it will print all the words here. So this is how we will be identifying all the lines which begins with from and will print all the elements in the form of words by using split method. Next is how objects and values are used. Say there is one example here, a equal to banana, b equal to banana, a is b. Whether a is b, it gives you true. It's very simple. That Python, there is no proper grammatical rules in Python, so anyone can learn this Python, right? So how they are done in the English sentence, a is b, it simply gives you what? Whether a is equal to b, it gives true. A equal to 1 to 3, b equal to 1 to 3, it's a list. Again a is b, false. Now in this case it gives you that a is b is false. Why? The two lists are equivalent because they have the same elements but not identical. Two lists are equivalent because they have the same elements but not identical. Aliasing, a equal to 1 to 3, then a is assigned to b, b is, so before that directly we can't check whether b is a. Before that a is going to be assigned to b, then you check b is a, true. The association of a variable with an object is called a reference. An object with more than one reference has more than one name, so we say that the object is aliased. List arguments. When you pass a list to a function, the function gets a reference to the list. If the function modifies a list parameter, the caller sees the change. So there is one function here, delete underscore head of t, delete t of 0. It will delete the first element from the list. Here is how it is used. Letters equal to ABC, delete underscore head of letters. That function will be called, and directly that list will be assigned, and it will remove the first element from the list, and it prints only the second and third element from the list called as letters. So this is how we can make use of delete function written in a separate function. That is continued. It is important to distinguish between operations that modify lists and operations that create new list. For example, the append method modifies the list, but the plus operator creates a new list. T1 equal to 1 comma 2, T2 equal to T1 dot append of 3. Now 3 will be appended to the list T1 and which is assigned to T2. Print of T1 will give you what? 1 to 3. Print of T2 will give you what? Give as none. So this is how you can modify the existing list, but it will that modified. So that's what you can see for example, the append method modifies a list, but the plus operator creates a new list that will be modified here. Next, what you have to do is T3 equal to T1 plus 3. Print of T3. It will be updated here 1 to 3. T2 is T3, which is once again false. The slice operator creates a new list and the assignment makes it refer to it, but none of that has any effect on the list that was passed as an argument. Define tail. So very similar function that we have defined in the previous slide, that is to remove the first element from the list, and here to remove the last element from the list. Define tail of t, return t of 1 colon. This function leaves the original list unmodified. Here is how it is used. Letters equal to ABC, tail of letters will display only the remaining letters in the list, that is B comma C. So few more examples. Write a function called chop that takes a list and modifies it, removing the first and last elements and returns none. So this is how we have already discussed how to remove first and last elements from the list. So based on that you can write the program. Then write a function called middle that takes a list and returns a new list that contains all but the first and last elements. So you have to create one more list called as middle, and that middle list should contain the middle elements except first and last element. One more. So this exercise is very important for examination point of view. Write a program to read through the mailbox data, and when you find the line that starts with from, you will split the line into words using the split function. We are interested in who sent the message, which is the second word on the from line, from Stephen dot something else like that. You will pass the from line and print out the second word for each from line. Then you will also count the number of from not from lines and print out a count at the end. So this program will identify all the lines which begins with from, and from that line it will identify who has sent the mail, name of the mail. So that will be printed. Write the program that prompts the user for a list of numbers that prints out the maximum and minimum of the numbers at the end, and the user enters done. So the same program already we have discussed, so you can try. Debugging. Don't forget that most list methods modify the argument and return none. This is the opposite of the string methods, which return a new string and leave the original alone. Pick an idiom and stick with it. Part of the problem with lists is that there are too many ways to do things. To add an element, you can use the append method or the plus operator, but don't forget that these are right. So how you can use that? T dot append of x, t equal to t plus x, and these are wrong. T dot append of x is wrong here. T dot append of x again wrong. T plus x wrong. T equal to t plus x. So these are all wrong concepts used in list. Make copies to avoid aliasing. Make a habit of using Gaussian pattern in program. So we are coming to the end of this list chapter. Summary that what we have learned in this list chapter: concept of a collection, initially list and definite loops, indexing and lookup, list mutability, functions. There are a few functions we have discussed in list: length, min, max and sum, slicing list, list methods. A few of the methods: append, remove, sorting lists, splitting strings into list of words, using split to parse the string. Thank you.